Welcome back, and one thing I noticed just a moment ago, if you look at all these, SS plus, triple S plus, same again, except Rean hasn't got his second S break. Flame Slash will upgrade, but it hasn't got the upgraded one yet. Interesting. Anyway, let's go get this ore. And this is the fourth, which means we've been to every spirit shrine we're able to visit. Yeah, there should be plenty to make Valimar's new touchy. Now we just need to get this back to George. Indeed. We need to contact Professor Schmidt too. Should we hurry back to her Courageous? Yeah, part of me would expect me to just come down here and fight a boss, but no, she decided to do it beforehand. I also didn't realise it was going to be her I'd be fighting, but I figured it'd be something interesting. Also heal up. Probably a good idea before you do anything else. I'm kind of glad we don't have the Ignis Shrine full. It's just half of the other shrines. Alright, looks like you got a pretty hefty amount. Should be enough to make you top rate touchy. Really? Once this is done, I'll finally be able to fight Crow on equal terms. Yeah, if we manage to finish it, it's going to be significantly more difficult when reinforcing Valimar's existing sword. Remember, we're making an entirely new weapon from scratch. I'm not sure we can manage it by ourselves. We'll even have to ask the Professor for help. Ah, so it's finally time for Professor Schmidt to come into play. Yep, you got enough Zamarian ore for him to work with for now. Can't see why he would turn us down. But can't say I'm all excited to have him on board. Oh well, better start getting what we need to get ready. Why wouldn't you want him on board? Well, as you no doubt forget from when you last met him, he's not easy to work with. The workspace isn't absolutely perfect and throw a tantrum. It's unbelievable. It feels like you're working with an professor, more like babysitting a temperamental child. I do say genius is often eccentric. Anyway, I'll call you as soon as we finish the other work area. Back to the bridge, make sure we've got everything else done. I reported all those quests. Yeah, reported all the quests. Is anything else we really need to do right now? I'll tell you what, I'll go down to the Royal Room, see whether or not she's got anything to say to me. A little bird, I mean, you got some of the Zamarian ore. I know Oliver will be all over it, so I have to take a good night long look at this place. So what do? Maybe charity, love, strength. I think the best thing I can do now is actually just continue a storyline, I think. I wonder what Professor Schmidt's going to be like. I'll go down to the orb factory. Customised weapons. Got upgrade a Pendragon. Vesper is probably worth doing at some point. Catastrophe. Let's carry on, shall we? This workspace is absolutely perfect. Once we're done, I'll call the Institute and invite him on board. No request I can. Both of it's here, but be done no time flat. They went about making the best looking workspace they could. Afterwards, George made contact with the Rowe Institute. The time finally came to welcome him on board. Not quite up to my standards, but with limited operations inside the ship, it'll have to do. Can't compare to the facilities in the Institute, but you made the best of what you had, I suppose. Thanks, I guess. So there it is. Didn't expect to obtain any of the Moreno at all, much less this much of it. Where exactly did you find it? Class VII obtained it from overcoming some very challenging trials. Come on, what is it you asked for? Do you help us, right? That doesn't answer my question the slightest, I'll have you know. When again, the answer changes a little. A man of my word, so you did what you asked to. I'll draft you the finest blueprints any world has ever seen. Still, the project is not without its series of trial and error. Your assistance will be crucial, George. Well, that's a famous Professor G. Smith. He is as much of a cranky old fart as everyone says he is. He and George seem to work really well together, though, don't they? Well, if I recall, they were once master and student. He's got those dashing good looks, but his personality leaves a lot to be desired. Don't take much to impress you, does it? Working with Moreno is no doubt to be a challenge. Though I need to find a way to use it to replicate the sharpness of Itachi. Still, Professor Smith on board, I'm sure I'll manage. He's the finest engineer in the country, if anything else. You just have to keep out of her hair. Hello.
Are you sure, Captain?
Yes, absolutely. Several days ago, the Alliance moved their line of defense around the capital westward, which means that the east side of the capital, and in particular the area around Trista, are much more exposed than before.
Oh.
That could totally work in our favor.
Oh, it's a trap.
Lucky us. Yeah. It sounds like we might finally be able to achieve what we set out to do.
We finally have a chance to wrestle the Academy from the Alliance's grasp.
Guess the Alliance is so focused on trying to defend Heimdallr, they don't have time to worry about Trista. We couldn't have asked for a better chance than this.
I have some other news that may be of interest to you as well. The Noble Alliance forces are no longer the ones supervising Thor's military academy.
Oh?
Instead, they've assigned that task to the upper class students, so the army can focus on defending the capital.
Why the upper class students?
I imagine they were chosen so the Academy would technically still be under the control of the nobility. I'm sure they're up to the task either way.
Are we talking about all of the upper-class students, or just a select number of them?
The academy is being overseen by a group of students calling themselves the Order of the Lion. The group is centered around high-ranking nobles, and its commander is one of the sons of Marquis Higharms, Patrick T. Higharms.
Ah, Patrick.
Patrick? I'd heard that he was still at the academy, but just what is he doing?
I thought Patrick was a good guy after the last one, but apparently not.
And what's this Order of the Lion?
I know nobles love tradition, but that name sounds like something torn from a history textbook.
Other key members include the son and daughter of Count Florald, together with a butler and maid from the upper-class dormitory. To my knowledge, the principal and the other instructors remain imprisoned within the academy itself, however.
Ferris is taking part too?
If I had to wager a guess, the Alliance ordered them to. Not like they're in a position to refuse.
That's a little worrying.
Principal Van Dyke is an honorary general of the army as well, so naturally, the army is concerned for his well-being. As such, we of the RMP are preparing to liberate Trista and the academy from the nobility.
Ah, so we're finally going to attack Trista. Good.
It will be carried out before the battle for Heimdallr can begin, using our most elite units.
Oh.
But that means...
Captain, would you consider postponing your operation for at least a few days?
Rean.
Do you not think the RMP is up to the task?
I don't doubt for a moment that you are, but since the day we were entrusted with the Courageous, no, even before that, liberating the Academy has
So
been
basically, I want to do it because it's what we set out to do.
I don't just mean Class 7 stream either. It's something that every single student gathered on this ship wants to be a part of. Whether someone else could handle it isn't the issue. It's what we've come this far for. We want to do it with our own hands.
Thank you, Rean. I feel the same way as Rean does. Thor's was established by one of my ancestors, so I feel a connection to it in that sense. It feels only right that those who have an attachment to the Academy should come together to take it back.
She's absolutely right. We've come all this way believing it would lead us back to the Academy. We can't just leave the last step of our journey to you. After all that's happened, I think we're the ones who should be fighting that Order of the Lion, don't you?
Yeah, you're right.
Yep, it's gotta be us. We've all put an enormous amount of effort into making it this far. It's only fair, right?
We wouldn't be setting a very good example as second years if we didn't see tasks we've taken on through to the end.
I want to go and save Uncle Makarov too! That's a lot of yes votes right there.
I'm pleased to see we're all unanimous.
Yeah, I want to do this too, Claire!
Really, Milliam?
So, Captain, won't you leave taking back Trista and the Academy to us?
We realize we're asking a lot.
When I finally see Dad again, I want to be able to look back and feel proud of all I've done.
I was never raised to beg, but in this case, no price is too great.
I wasn't expecting to get quite so strong a reaction from you. It's almost like we went to different schools. I've never felt quite the devotion and attachment to the Academy all of you clearly possess, so it's a little strange for me to see how much each of you are willing to sacrifice, just so you can liberate Trista together. But strange in a good way.
Is that a yes?
We'll wait 2 days. Trista will form a vital base in our operation to take Heimdallr. It needs to be liberated as soon as possible. I hope that will be enough time for you to achieve your dream of taking it back.
Oh, yes.
Thank you, Captain.
If you weren't with the RMP already, you'd make a hell of an actress, you know. You put on quite a show for someone who was gonna say yes all along.
And what makes you say that? Regardless, I will be praying for your success. I look forward to seeing you all again in Heimdallr after this war is over.
Thank you.
Good luck to you too, Captain.
Next mission, retaking Trista. Finally, Class 7 was granted permission to liberate Trista, left deciding on specifics of the operation to tow her. Eventually, it was decided to carry out a mission on the same day as the prototype of Valimar's new weapon was completed. As the game does a random crash. Sorry about that random skip at the end there. That's the only way I can get through that scene, apparently. The game crashes there. If you really want to do it, you can actually potentially slow it down and see that bit again. I might actually just do that myself, actually, in the edit. I'll see.
The operation will begin today at 1200 hours. Make sure you've done everything.
As you already know, I won't be taking part in this one. My job as your teacher is...
Thank you.
We've still got some time until then.
Yeah.
Incidentally, how goes the development of...
The prototype was finished last night. There's still some work left, but personally, I'd...
Professor Spitz really...
Yes.
Were you expecting to be welcomed with a hug and some candy?
Anyway, by the sound of it, I'm gonna be swamped with helping him out, but I should still be...
We just might take you...
Whatever ensures yours, so much is resting on...
Right.
Okay. All members of Class 7 will take part in battle for Trista, whether they're in an active party or not. What is known is make sure you equip everyone. So in the game room as well, apparently. So I'm actually going to equip everyone now. Let's quickly check quests as well. I don't think there are going to be any, but we'll check. Nope. So with that, I'm going to end the episode here and figure out what to do. Until then, bye bye.